what's good, people? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 158. Oh man, this chapter really good, but it hit me with a heavy dose of nostalgia. And I know some of you guys are saying, how the hell could this chapter hit you with a heavy dose of nostalgia? What's going on, right? Well, watching Luffy get chased by Smoker, while it was funny, and while it was pretty damn obvious that Luffy was going to lead him to his crew, the thing is while I'm reading it, it takes me back to how I actually got banned from high school athletics when I was playing in high school. And I'll go into that later on. But this chapter and this ending, holy shit. So basically Smoker, he's chasing Luffy and he's using the smoke fist, right? And Luffy's already led him towards Straw Hats, who have gone through all this trouble being undercover, okay? And Zoro himself even says, like, hey, you idiot, don't lead him towards us. And that's when Ace just shows up at the end, and he uses the Sun Fist, and that's when Luffy recognizes him, and he says Ace. So the connection's real. The connection is really real, and it's impressive that Luffy remembers him, because Luffy's shown in this chapter that memory-wise, it's not real, maybe not real big on details, okay? Because he said you're just that smoke guy. He didn't really recall his full name. He just knows that, oh, this is the guy that deals with smoke, and this is basically the guy that kicked my ass. But I like this. I like how right here, Ace, basically, it's a badass pose too. Like, I like the way Oda drew this. Because you got like the little smoke and you got the residue from the fire coming. I like that. But right here he says, you may be smoke, but I'm fire. We're too evenly matched to settle this now. So it looks like Luffy got his ass saved one more time. Just like how he got saved back when Smoker was chasing him the first time. But just looking at this, man. Like right here, Luffy says Ace. And Ace tells him, you never change, do you? Hey, Luffy. I like that, man. That was pretty cool. It looked like this might be something that is going to turn badly very quickly for Luffy and the crew. Not gonna lie to you, there were a few times when I was reading this where I was thinking, oh shit, they're really gonna get captured. And it was in particular when Luffy was leading Smoker towards his crew. I thought right there, like, oh shit, okay. And you knew something was going to happen because this chapter started off very tense with the showdown between Smoker and Ace. And Smoker telling Ace, basically, give yourself up. Even though I'm not here for you, I'm chasing another pirate. Give yourself up. And Ace is like, look, I can't do it. And the notoriety with Whitebeard's name and people saying they've heard Smoker's name, really nice, really good. But another thing on this is while I'm reading this chapter, seeing that Tashigi is right on the outside and that there are more Navy officers stationed close by, it just shows you that everywhere this dude's going, he is looking to establish the tactical high ground to where everyone is playing with his cards. So I love how that's going, but at the same time I'm looking at it, and unless he scouted out Alabasta, right, there's no way he could have all those men stationed in just the right place to where when Luffy's running, he runs into him. So just that little thing right there, but at the same time, I've seen worse mastermind type moves in shonen mangas. Like, I've seen way worse. So at this point, that's just a small thing, but it's not overly huge. This is one of those things where you suspend disbelief and you just kind of go with it, man. But the beautiful thing is I like the way that Luffy, when he smells food, right? He's got a nose that is very similar to Chopper's. Like, Chopper smelled the perfume that Nami and just everyone in the city had, okay? His nose was on overload. Luffy's nose was in the same way. And I like how Oda just very indirectly puts Luffy and Chopper together. And what I mean by that is they're not standing next to each other, but similar similar fashion, okay? Like you see Chopper with the nose issue and you see Luffy with the heightened sense of smell. Maybe it's just towards food, but it's in the same chapter. And I told you guys before, Chopper really reminded me of Luffy a lot. So just seeing that, really, really cool, man. Really cool. Now, the thing that really just tripped me out on this is when Luffy shows up and he knocks Smoker and Ace just clean straight through a few walls. And he's able to sit down and have a meal. And then when Ace says, hey, Luffy, and that's when Smoker just shoves his face down. And he's like Straw Hat and he's coming for him. And when Luffy realizes, he just spits the food out. Slapstick humor, but at the same time, it works in this case. And just how Luffy shoves the food in his mouth and he takes off running, really cool. But the thing that makes all this shit work is the fact that while this is going on, Oda doesn't let it get too serious, and we see this really cool shot. A little bit of fan service. Not too much, but just a little bit of fan service. You have Nami, and you have Vivi. And Vivi, like Nami's just kind of rolling with it, okay? I think because she's used to Sanji's questionable behavior. But Vivi looking a little uncomfortable, and part of the reason for it is that she's a princess. But they're dressed like belly dancers, and that's one of the things that she even says. Like, she says that maybe we shouldn't have sent Sanji to the shop for us. We're not exactly gonna blend in with the common people. These are dancers' outfits, and right here, Sanji, he knows this shit too. He says, what do you mean? Dancers are common people. No one will ever dream you're a princess and a pirate dressed like that. Like, you can tell, like, Sanji, he's in full pervert mode, man. And I just love the way that as soon as he gets a little pushback, he says, well, don't worry. If you get tired, I'll be happy to carry you. And I think he's the last person, particularly dressed like that, and the way he's got his hands. He's got his hands cupped like it's, I don't know, man. Like, if I was a woman, I would kind of keep my top covered. Like, I don't trust Sanji like that. And I like how Oda just kind of throws it in there individually with Zoro basically calling him a fool. Because Sanji's like, oh, I'm falling into the dungeon of love. I'm fucking loving Sanji. He's fucking crazy, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Sanji, this isn't on some Master Roshi level pervertedness. Like, Roshi shrank himself down to watch Bulma go pee, okay? So, this isn't on some Master Roshi level pervertedness, but this is close. This is about where Cone is in Bleach, okay? I put Sanji a little further ahead, a little below Jiraiya from Naruto, but this is right there with it, man. So, I'm loving Sanji. I love perverts and shonen mangas. So, with that being said, the chase scene and the nostalgia that invoked, man. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short, but the reason why that nostalgia got me was I made a very similar mistake that Luffy did, okay? When Luffy's running, he does the one thing you're not supposed to do. He leads his crew. He leads Smoker to his crew. Back when I was a freshman in high school, I had been promoted to first team practice, so I was practicing with the starters. And I was one of the defensive backs. I played safety on my football team. I was one of the D-backs who got subbed in, okay? And so I wasn't a four-down player. Really just got in for 1 or 2 snaps each down, but I was still getting reps. And the thing is, I was running track at the time, and that was my way of, gaining speed and still weightlifting with the football team. And the thing is I decided to skip, my 6th period. I go out there and I'm going out to fight somebody. Guy doesn't show. One of the coach's wives sees me, and she sees me from the classroom, calls the school cop, and I run 6 miles off of campus, right? Run all through the woods. The cops running through. My football coach, it goes from 6th period to an hour and a half after school is over. They're just chasing us, and my football coach's truck, brand new Silverado, actually got stuck in a little mud pit in there. and they had to get somebody to tow that truck out because he couldn't get it backed out. And the whole time I'm running, I got on this red jacket, right? It's me and this dude I was cool with named Marcus. We're just running, and they're following the jacket from the street, which is why they were always able to just pop up wherever we were at. As soon as we would get to a place where we would have a little breather, they could look through the trees and see the little red jacket. You could see it from the road. It wasn't a red jacket, it was a red sweatshirt, but you could see it from the road, okay? And I didn't think to ditch my hoodie until a little before they caught us, okay? And that's what I mean, like, when you're completely in the mix for something, okay, you don't really pay attention to what it is that you could do that might get yourself and other people in trouble. Like with me, I didn't think the jacket, okay? And with Luffy, he's not thinking, I might not need to lead this dude towards my crew. He's just like, oh, a familiar face. And it goes back to what sociologists say. Whenever people are in a situation, an uncomfortable situation or a new situation, they always look for something that either reminds them of home, or they look for a familiar face and they gravitate towards it. So I like that Oda incorporated this into it, man. But overall, like I said, pretty fun chapter to read. Like I said, don't really care for Luffy as a character, but he's absolutely fun to read. And this chapter is definitely one of the reasons why. But my chapter question for you guys is, which scene impressed you the most? Was it the fact that Ace was able to stay on par with Smoker, okay? And on par in that he cancels out his attack and he's clearly holding back, clearly confident? Or was it Luffy recognizing Ace? Or was it Luffy's just, his whole moment with Smoker? What did you enjoy most when you read this or when you watched this in the anime? But that's it for this review. If you like anything I had to say, make sure you hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. As always, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.